Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. I have a very different one for you today. I've had an idea in my mind for the longest time and I've really wanted to reach out to professional photographers and ask them to edit me into the optimum beauty standard for South Asian people. Why? Why have I wanted to do this? Well, as a woman in today's society, as a woman who uses social media a lot, why am I saying as a woman? As a human being, because non-binary people and men face this too. There is so much pressure to live up to societal beauty standards. Is it achievable to be what society shows us is the absolute epitome of beauty as we see on the cover of magazines? They will always exist. Just because they're attainable for some, does that mean that they're attainable for all? And I was thinking about that through the lens of race. I have South Asian heritage. I come from Mauritius, so technically I'm African, and I think my features absolutely reflect that. I look at my nose and I definitely feel like I have an Asian nose. I have quite big eyes, I think, for the standard of person. Isn't that funny? Even right now, just talking about it, the standard of person that is in my mind is white. So I'm like, oh, based on like reasonable standards, based on the standard white person, my nose is bigger. I definitely have a big African Asian bum and I love it. My point is there are so many features that belong to the body that I am in that means that attaining a white beauty standard isn't actually possible. If it is, it's through huge body modification and surgery that I shouldn't have because one, my body's beautiful. I have to preface this entire video with that. I was interested in this more as an academic exercise because I actually couldn't tell you what South Asian beauty standards are. I can tell you that for a white body, because that's what we see on magazines, that's all I've seen growing up in media. I didn't grow up seeing the features that I should be considering beautiful. Obviously all of my features should be considered beautiful because I'm a human being with variance and so everyone should see their features as beautiful. My point is I don't know what those South Asian beauty standards are. So what are those standards? Are they in any way achievable? And from a very selfish point of personal curiosity, do I in any way meet any of them? That was my thought for making this video. And so I went on to Fiverr and I wanted to look at photo manipulation. I've never hired someone to do this before. I found one photo editor that was about £3. I found another one who was around the £10 mark. And then I found another one which was £20. And this is per photo. It saddens me quite a lot, to be honest, because when I was looking at this, I realized that actually the services that are out there are advertised to people who actually use these services for almost every photo that they post. And I'm hoping that this experience doing this video today will show that that's not necessary. But let's see. So I reached out to 3 people at the low, medium and high end price points and I asked the following thing. Hi, I'm South Asian. I'd love for you to edit a picture of me to South Asian beauty standards. Does this sound like something you'd be willing to do? I explained that I'm trying to do this for a project of body diversity and beauty individuality. I wanted them to know that I wasn't going to be offended if they literally did like anything that they needed to do. I said I wanted a result that adheres to Indian beauty standards and I asked the designers if they weren't sure what they were to Google Indian fashion magazine covers so that they could then take what they see as the epitome of Asian beauty and decide what those traits are and let me know. And I gave them 3 photos to choose from. The reality is I didn't have much choice for photos. One of these is actually taken from like a video clip from a brand deal that I did because I just realized how uncomfortable I am with full body shots. I typically don't have many, which I should change because I want to be more at peace with my body. So just noting that for next time. I wanted to provide an option where I was wearing Asian clothes and an option where I wasn't, and I kind of, as I said, wanted ones where I was facing forward. And let me tell you, getting a designer was kind of tricky. There was a point at which I didn't think I was able to make this video because when I reached out to the first designer, this was their title. They said, I will make anything in Photoshop. So I was like, oh, this should be a doddle. But then I got this back. So much for anything. And I might be making an assumption here, but based on this message, I think the reason why is because some people might have been against the idea of body manipulation. This person said, I should have you know that I don't alter the body appearance, body shape, features of a person, which I quite like, actually. It's bad for this academic project, obviously, but I do really like the idea that there are people out there being like, no, babe, you don't need to change how you look. But I eventually did find 3 professional photographers who are happy to take this challenge on. And after about a week, I now have all of the edits. I haven't looked at them yet. I wanted to do this properly together. Okay, so designer 1 has provided us with this. I'm surprised at the photo that they chose. I don't know why I gave them a range of photos. They could have chosen any photo. But the most obvious change here is the background. Certainly more Asian than the streets of Stratford in my original photo. I'm also noticing that the colouring is very different. So this is the original and this is their version. Do I look taller in the edited version? The biggest thing that I was really curious about was skin colour, because something that I've noticed being South Asian is how often I've been made to look lighter, whether that be in photo shoots, whether that be literally just growing up and like legit my family had a practice, because it's just the dumb thing that you do in Mauritius of talcum powdering your entire body to make you look whiter. I'm very glad that I've never sort of been made to skin bleach, but it's along the same lines, right? And I was like, I wonder if changing my skin colour to be lighter is something that would happen, but I actually don't think that has happened here. I don't think they've changed my colour, but I do think they've made my tone warmer, which is interesting. I then also immediately go to the waist, and I can absolutely see that I've been made skinnier, as to be expected, right? Because I think that's a universal beauty standard all across the world. I love my wibbly bits. Not always. Self-love is not a linear journey, but trust me, they're fun. Okay, should we look at the face? Wow. Okay, I feel like my entire skin has been airbrushed. I'm looking here, I'm looking at this little like beauty mark that I have. I should also say my tattoo here is new, so they haven't gotten rid of that. It just didn't exist when this photo was taken. But my skin is flawless. There is no blemishes in this whatsoever. I also feel like maybe my cheeks have been made like less chipmunky. And I feel like my face is pointier, but I cannot tell you why. And I mean bags, what bags? I have no bags now. This photo absolutely makes me look younger and almost like cartoony. I feel like I look a bit like a Disney princess. I don't know if there's been like a highlight put on or something, but yeah. Those are my observations. Is there anything else that's happened, do you think? We do have the list, of course. Why don't we take a look at the list? Okay, here we go. Skin retouching. We picked up on this one. Smoothing, blemishes, wrinkles, wounds, removal, brutal. A background change, waistline slimming. We saw that. Hand slimming. No. Really? Legs extending. I did think I looked taller. Face slimming. Eyes more open. Interesting. Yes, my eyes are definitely wider. Jawline shaping and more of a curve. Yes, I can totally see the difference now. Bold of me to look at this edited photo and think my jawline is that strong. Hair volume increase, skin tanning, chest portion pulling up. Yeah, I kind of see it now that he's mentioned it. I see that my boobs have been made baggier. Don't worry, girls. Firstly, this just seems like an overwhelming amount of work that's been done for only £4, so wow. But honestly, my biggest thought, and I have to be honest here because that's what this video is for, I think this is one of the most beautiful photos that I have of me. And when I see it next to this edited one, I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I feel a little bit ugly. I look at this and I'm like, wow, my jawline is not like my jawline in the edited one, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I just feel like I look objectively unattractive compared to the edited version of myself. And this is what is so dangerous about things like this, right? I think especially because you can't put your finger on it. I wonder, Peaches, you see me all the time. You may not follow me on Instagram. Please do, at shaabaandjamie007. But if you take a look at my Instagram pages, I've never edited a photo in my life. If I posted this edited version, would you think it's been manipulated? Because honestly, I don't think I look at photos enough to be like, yeah, I would know that that's edited. But I'm sure I do scroll through a lot of photos where people don't mention that things have been edited and be like, wow, they're so beautiful. And then go back to myself and look at myself in the mirror and think, wow, I'm not nearly as attractive as these people. Which is silly, because now that I see this, I realise just how easy it can be to see yourself as beautiful in one way, but then compare yourself to unattainable standards and then see yourself completely differently. Wow. Should we take a look at the next edit? So this one was the medium price range. Exactly the same brief. Let's see what they've come up with. Oh! Okay, I don't know why I was expecting that to be super different. I got shocked because it's a different photo. I'm also, I don't know if I'm looking at this at first glance and I feel like I look like a cartoon. Is that just what like skin retouching does? Do people actually look at photos like this and post it and be like, yes, this is what people look like? Oh, this is so interesting. Again, the background's been changed. My hair! Dude, my hair isn't pink! So, Asian beauty standards is natural beauty. It's not artificial bright pink hair. Who'd have thought? Also, can I just say, in this original photo, again, a photo in which I felt my most beautiful, this was taken after I had a professional makeup artist and hairstylist work on my face and hair. And I'm looking at the two, and again, I'm like, wow. I am objectively not very attractive. This is tripping me because I thought I was in a really good place with my body and just my general looks. I am. I just didn't expect to consider an edited version of myself so much more beautiful. And I'm fully aware that that is not attainable. I'm fully aware that this is only more beautiful because it's had artistic edit. I also feel like I look quite skinny in my original photo. In a lenga, because I have like a particularly small waist compared to the rest of my body, I really enjoy how lengas are cut because I have an hourglass figure and I like the hourglass figure. But even still, I'm looking at this photo and I feel like this photographer has edited me skinnier still. And I feel like I look like a freaking Barbie doll. Like, I'm looking at those measurements and I'm like, I don't think someone's waist can actually be that skinny with that level of boobage and with the like roundness of the face. It blows my mind. I'm looking at my boobs and I feel like they too have been reshaped and I can't tell you how. I think that's what's tripping me the most about all of this. Like, I can't actually pinpoint and say, yes, this exactly is what has been done and that is what's making it prettier. It's messing with my mind. The hair is the biggest change, and I can see they've not only changed the colour, they've also changed like the volume. I feel like my hair looks glossier and wavier and just fuller. I have thick hair. Oh my gosh, and look at my face. So, interestingly on this one, this designer hasn't gotten rid of my bags, and I feel like my cheeks, although they have been made thinner. I'm looking. My face feels longer and maybe thinner. I still have sort of like the lines. You know, the lines. And I'm very proud of my lines. I'm glad that this person feels like they are also Asian beauty standards. Please tell me, what is Asian beauty standards to you? What have you done? Lighting adjustments, colour correction, background changes, skin retouching, body plastics manipulation, face plastics manipulation, and hair recolouring. They've also provided more detail as to how they've changed that. So I've made the cheeks, nose, waist, and arms thinner. Really, my arms? My nose has been reshaped. That is very interesting. I've lengthened and added the hair. I've removed spots on the skin. I've made the skin a consistent colour and removed the defects on the skin. I actually think that the smoothing of the skin colour is what makes it look so unnatural to me. Do you feel the same way? I just feel like it looks quite cartoony. And then overall correction of the picture's brightness and contrast. Wow. Okay, so what are we learning from this about what Asian beauty standards are? I'm seeing skinny. I'm seeing wider chested and sort of like a very, very accentuated curvy inner waist. I'm seeing angular, right? Really angular and wider noses, which is interesting to me. Again, because like I know the sort of like skinnier, flicky uppy nose is sort of like a Western beauty standard, but I don't think that translates to Asian beauty standards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like eyes are a really big part of Asian beauty because I feel like the first designer made my eyes significantly bigger, and so has this person, and then very thick and wavy hair. I don't know if thick hair is like a Western beauty standard, and honestly it's just blowing my mind that things like forearms have been made skinnier and hands. Alright, should we take a look at the third and final edit? So this was the most expensive edit of the three. Let's take a look. So this designer's used the exact same photo as the first one, but what I find really interesting about this one is without the background change, which was really noticeable in the first image, my first immediate thought is, wow, I'm significantly skinnier. I look at the initial photo, I'm like, dude, I am chubby. It's okay to be chubby, but I hate that that is the first thing that my mind thinks. It looks at the original in a really negative way and is like, no, this isn't okay. That pains my soul a little bit. I'm also noticing that my hair's been made longer, which is interesting, but I guess very in line with Asian beauty standards, which is different to Western beauty standards. Like the idea of super long hair has always been, from what I've seen, an Asian ideal. And again, this is the third photo where I'm actually shocked that my skin colour hasn't been, maybe it's been altered, but it's not been made to be super light. I'm pleasantly surprised about that because I really thought that that would have been one of the things that I'd have been most disappointed about, because it's what I definitely predicted would be an Asian beauty standard. I definitely still think colorism exists, and I think in terms of skin colour I'm on like the lighter end of the spectrum, I wonder if I was significantly more darker skinned, if someone would have then altered the image. Okay, so apart from the waist being skinnier, and I feel like the boobs in this one have also been brought up and sort of reshaped to be more in line with Barbie, I'm not sure if I can notice too much more on the body. The face, though, I feel is very different. My eyes have, again, I think been made to look bigger. I don't know if my nose has been reshaped. I feel like it has, and now I'm noticing in my original photo that my nose has like a bit of a tiny little bump here, which I didn't think of before. And again, I'm kind of disliking that my brain is disliking seeing that, but what you're gonna do? I feel like this one has been like the most tastefully changed in that it looks so realistic, which again is quite scary. But let's take a look at the list to actually see what's been changed. Okay, I changed the body shape to be skinnier, mainly arms, shoulders, breasts and legs. I initially didn't notice that the shoulders were thinner, but I can see it now. I still don't see the legs, if I'm perfectly honest. Okay, no, hang on, actually, if I put them right next to each other, I feel like I look taller. I think it's just because a little bit of my leg is showing, not like a lot, so it's harder to notice. Either that or my mind is just clearly not very good at picking up these things. The eye size has been changed to be bigger. I've adjusted the nose size, and I've changed the face shape to thinner and more oval. I've changed the skin colour to a bit darker. That is interesting. I've made the hair longer. Okay, interesting. And they said I wanted to change your hair colour to black, but with this hair it wasn't realistic. Again, I definitely think that that's a very big difference between Asian and Western beauty standard. I definitely still feel like Western beauty standards goes towards lighter, particularly in terms of things like hair. But for South Asian beauty standards, that definitely still seems to be like dark, natural. Well, there you go. What do you think? I'm still feeling some kind of way about the way I look in the original photos compared to the edits, and I'm feeling some kind of way about feeling that some kind of way, which is boggling my mind a little bit, which makes me even more sad because I think about the people who aren't thinking about these things and the effect that it therefore must have on someone who's totally unaware and hasn't spent a lot of time trying to understand and go through a journey of self-love, if that makes sense. I feel like we've learned a lot about what Asian beauty standards are. I certainly think I understand the differences now between Asian and Western beauty standards, but also the ways in which beauty standards are universally seen to be skinnier, taller, more angled. The things that require a lot more definition that we just physically can't change about ourselves. Like, I don't think any amount of exercise in the world would make my chin more outward and pointy. Nothing would change my face shape, beyond the fat distribution here, of course, but I'm talking about like the ovality of my face. And I think when you put things like that into perspective, the answer to whether these beauty standards are attainable is still no. At the beginning of this video, my, I guess, overall personal curiosity question was how much do I meet Asian beauty standards? But having seen these edits now and gone through this video with you, I realised just how stupid a question that is, because what does it matter? My biggest takeaway from all of this is if I look at these images of myself, the original versions, I do think I'm beautiful, and I do think that I can live a really wonderful lifestyle at this body image, you know? I remember going out that day in Stratford, it was for the LGBT plus awards, I looked hella cute, I ate a 3-course meal, we came back and we picked up nuggets in a drive-thru. This is the kind of happiness that I want to feel all the time, and I want to emphasize that the only time that I felt crap about it is when I see my beautiful self next to an edited version of myself. If we didn't make these standards so ridiculously unachievable, I think people's mental health would be a lot better. What do you think, my loves? Is there anything that you've learned, particularly from this video, that you would love to share with me? Because I would love to hear it. If there's anything you noticed that was in the edits that I didn't pick up on, please do let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, perhaps consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you would like to see more. Thank you again for joining me, my loves. If you'd like to see me do something similar, let me know downstairs in the comment section. For now, I will love you and leave you. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.